Yeah, yeah. So if you're hearing this, we haven't gone live yet, and we're not live. So please subscribe, hit the like button, and please join us sometime. 7 o'clock uh, Central Standard Time. And if you want to get your dose of Bible in, this is how you do it. Welcome, everybody. You're listening to The Deacon Show with moi, the Deacon. Let's get this Bible open so that it is the center and focus of everything we do. Yeah. So give everybody a chance to come in. Yeah. So how is everybody doing? Let me get this set up for us. See what's going on here. I just have to there we go. Set it up right. Voila. There we are. So I hope you're following along with us. We're in Genesis. We're around chapter 9, I think. And hopefully you're learning something. Shocking truths in the book of Genesis. Things that you never knew were there. And you've been a Christian all your life and you've read it a gazillion times, you think. You've been led through it. And you're going to hear things and read things when you look at it correctly that you didn't realize. Yeah. So welcome. Boro is first. Jerry Ludwig, what's up? Give everybody a second to get in. Yeah, Genesis. You know, there's a lot of things that we need to, like questions. Like, learn to ask the right question. If you can ask the right question, the Bible will answer itself and it'll illuminate itself for you. And God blessed Noah. And God blessed Noah and his sons and said to them, be fruitful and multiply. So, you know, for my novel, Mississippi Moon, I did a lot of 4 years of research. And a prevailing belief of Southern whites is that the curse on Ham resulted in the black race. And that is false. It's absolutely false. There are some black Israelites who think it's great that they are descendants of Ham, or at least believe that, when they don't realize what it means. That it says that they will serve the other two sons, the Ham, and it's not really the thing you want at all. Let's get this going. All right, I'm going to sit down. I'm still a little weak, not up to par 100%. And hey, such is life, you know. Let's see if I can make this a little bit bigger. There we go. There we go. Yeah, sorry about that. So how are we? Talk to me while I wait for everybody to come in here. Boro, what's new? Jerry Ludwig, what's new? Remember, if you are interested in being a beta reader, you have to email me. If you don't email me, it's never going to happen. That's the ticket to email me. And I'll get you you'll be in the rotation. And, we'll give a little while. If a lot of people don't come in tonight, it's Friday. We may just stop early. I don't know. I'm tired, man. I'm just tired. And life is beating me up. Yesterday was really hard, man. I couldn't come on. Sorry. And definitely a lot of things thrown at me. And yeah. In fact, it was one of the most stressful days of my life yesterday. If you have like muscle issues, sometimes they'll prescribe like Flexeril for you. Man, that works. Thank you, High Hopes. Hopes I'm feeling better. So, like some of my issues, a Flexeril will help it. But man, I'm a booger the next day and feel horrible. I hate that. I hate that drug. I hate it. So, I don't know if you got to take Flexeril ever. It works. It fixes the pain. But man, the next day sucks. And very hard to yeah, Jerry Ludwig, it wipes you out. It'll help you sleep through the night, but the next day it's blech. I hate it. All right, there's a few people that aren't going to stay in, as we said, but so remember, after the flood, Noah plants a vineyard, and years later, people don't realize that it's years. It's not when they got off the boat that Moses said, "I'm free," and gets drunk and lays in his tent and gets naked and just sprawl out everywhere and relax. He was not doing anything wrong. Moses was drinking in his tent, naked, by himself. Ham goes to say, "Hey, Dad, what's up?" And instead of knocking and waiting for an answer, he just barges right in. And Noah's laying there with his junk hanging out with a flask of wine in his hand. And he is sheet-faced, big time. And so there were 3 sons of Noah, and from these the whole earth was populated. From these, Canaanites, like Cain, the sons of Cain, they're no more. Everyone on the earth before the flood is gone. The sons of God were on the earth before and after, because and the Nephilim were there before and after. The Nephilim and the sons of God are 2 individual beings. The sons of God are the sons of Noah, which are the descendants of Seth. The Nephilim, they have no beginning and no end in the book of Genesis. And we assume that they are, in a sense, the offspring of the evil one. Then Noah, like these are the 3 sons, the whole earth was populated. Then Noah began farming and planted a vineyard. So he planted the vineyard, and whether it grew or not, we're not sure. But after he planted it, he said, "I'm done for the day. I'm going into my tent. I'm going to take my sandals off, and I'm going to get out of this sweaty robe I got on, and I'm going to just cool off and have myself a little drink." Where'd he get liquor from? Ask the question. Ask the right questions. Where did Noah get alcohol? Where did Noah get alcohol? Evidently, his vineyard grew and he made it. So we're talking years after the flood, maybe a year, maybe two. He learned how to make liquor. He drank of the wine and became drunk and uncovered himself inside his tent. Ham, the father of Canaan, that's not the sons of Cain, Canaan, saw the nakedness of his father. What does saw mean? Saw. To see, to understand, to spy. Anyway, he saw his dad. He wasn't looking at him because he was naked. He just saw him. And or he went and said, "Hey, Papa, hey, I want to talk to you." And he pulled the curtain aside and he saw his dad and said, "Shit, that's an ugly mofo." And he went to his brothers and he said, "You should see Dad. Man, all that holy talk that he talks, all the talk about God, all that stuff. And he's in his tent naked and drunk." So we see the first case of legalism. Again, not really the first case. After the flood, the first case of legalism. And what does it do? It is deserving of a curse. So no law had been given. No law had been given. But Ham is going to be a lawmaker and a keeper and a law. He's going to say, Dad should not be drinking. Dad should not be naked. He thinks that he's smarter than his dad, smarter than the man who built the boat, smarter than the man who loaded it, smarter than the man who kept him alive for over a year in that boat. And here he is judging his own father. And we see that one of the commandments, obey your mother and father, so it will be well or go well with you in the land. Honor your mother and father. Honor them. They're not stupid. They're not stupid. We got one more person in. Hello. So Ham, the father of Canaan, saw the nakedness of his father and told his two brothers outside. But Shem and Japheth took a garment and laid it upon their shoulders, Shechem, and walked backward and covered the nakedness of their father, and their faces were turned away so that they did not see their father's nakedness. Man, my youngest son is like this. I was in a jacuzzi once and I needed him to bring me something, and he brought it to me like this. Yeah, it's good. It's good. It's good. The reason why you wear clothes is to keep that part of you private. Not dancing down at the club, not shaking it on the street, not shaking it in the face of some stranger, and definitely not shaking it into someone's face that you're not planning to marry. High hopes, high hopes, high hopes, high hopes, high hopes. That's who's in here. High hopes, Jerry Ludwig. Boro. We got Into the Dragon going on right here. When Noah awoke from his wine, he knew what his youngest son had done to him and said, "Cursed be Cain." You want to think you're smarter than me? You want to go to your brothers and shame me? What do they have to do with it? What do you have to do with it? What do you have to do it? So, but anyway, we have this things bearing, reproducing in their own kind, right? So Cain is the children of this Ham. And he's saying, the fact that you looked at me, I want you to really realize what I'm saying here. This is naturalistic theology, right? So, and the Bible is abbreviated. And if you don't realize that and you don't believe that, you're going to have a problem. So it's kind of like the person, like if you offer to help somebody with money and they laugh at you and mock you, that is showing something inside of them. So what this did was revealed who Ham was. And cursed be Canaan, your son. Man, I feel sorry for your sons because they're going to grow up just like you. They're going to grow up thinking like you. We are products of our environment. Unless Jesus breaks that curse, we're under a curse. And it happened in the garden. But here's just curse upon curse. Here, look at this. Cursed be Cain, a servant of servants, son. If you continue to think like this, you're never going to be, you're going to serve everybody because you're going to be running after everybody looking to see what they're doing wrong, trying to rule over them. And what will happen is people are going to detest you and you're never going to do anything acting like that. And your son, if you raise him like that, it's over. That's in the words, cursed be Cain, a servant of servant. He shall be to his brothers. He also said, blessed be the Lord, the God of Shem. But Shem and Japheth took a garment, laid it upon their shoulders. That place, that's Shechem. That place is called Shechem because of this. And as we're going to find out this later, that this is the first capital of Israel, because it was born right here. Israel, the nation of Israel, is born right here. And it's not Ham. Listen. Blessed be the Lord, the God of Shem, and let Canaan be his servant. May God enlarge Japheth, and let him dwell in the tents that Shem makes for him. Japheth is our guy, Israel. And let Canaan be his servant. Noah lived 350 years after the flood. So all the days of Noah were 950 years, and he died. Now these are the records of the generations of Shem, Ham, and Japheth, the sons of Noah, and sons were born to them after the flood. The sons of Japheth were Gomer, Magog, Madol, and Javan, and Tubal. There's another one. Tubal, remember Tubal-Cain? What does Tubal mean? You'd have to look it up. We're not going to take the time. So Meshach and Tyrus. The sons of Gomer were Ashkenazi Jews, Ashkenaz and Riphath and Tegareth. The sons of Javan were Elishi. These are the sons of Japheth, the sons of God. The sons of Javan were Elisha, and Tarshish, Kittim, and Dorium. From these, the coastlands of the nations were separated into their lands, everyone according to his language, according to their families, into their nations. I keep having to yawn when I read. I apologize. And I'm trying to swallow it away. Freedom Press! Hey! Hey! Yeah, we're going back on at 7 on weekdays. I haven't gone over the last couple of days. I've just been feeling horrible. And I am feeling better, so thank you. High Hope says, my husband gets kind of embarrassed when I walk out of the tub. Before I forget, I do want to put this PayPal link in here because I would appreciate it if you are blessed by this, that you bless me back if you desire to. But I don't want you to if you can't. I want it to be easy. And if it's not, I want you to listen to the Word of God. So yes, there's that PayPal link. If you just have a little inkling to bless me, thank you. The sons of Ham, but he still looks, High Hope says. Yep, he does. Yeah, Freedom Press says, my husband, or High Hope says, my husband kind of gets kind of embarrassed when I walk out of the tub. But he looks. I was going to say that too, but I thought I wouldn't. So the sons of Ham were Cush, Africa, Mizraim, and Put, and Canaan. So these are the two players. The sons of Cush were Seba, Havilah, the land of Havilah. What did I tell you? I told you in that second chapter of Genesis that the land of Havilah was in around the garden, that's the land of Canaan. Right here, the sons of Cush were Seba and Havilah and Sapta and Ramah and Septeka, and the sons of Ramah were Sheba and Dedan. Now Cush became the father of Nimrod. He became a mighty one on the earth. He was a mighty hunter before the Lord. Before the Lord. Therefore it is said, like Nimrod, a mighty hunter before the Lord. Thank you, High Hopes. She says, you are a blessing, Sean. I can give you a blessing back. Thank you. And it doesn't have to be in PayPal. It could just be a prayer said for me, because I need them. Like Nimrod, a mighty hunter before the Lord, the beginning of his kingdom was Babel and Erech and Akkad and Kilnah in the land of Shinar. Right? Babel is just one little town in amongst all of those. Bet you didn't know that either. From that land he went forth from Assyria. Oh, there's another place. Into Assyria, and built Nineveh, and Rehoboth, and Calah, and Rezin, between Nineveh and Calah. That is the great city. Mizraim became the father of Lydium and Anim and Libyan and Naphtihim, and Tillim, and which one was which Dedom and Cashlahim, from which came the Philistines. Remember our giant Goliath, who in the Hebrew text is only 6 feet. He was a giant of a man, but was only 6 feet, appearing to small little David. And Cathtorim. Canaan became the father of Sidon. Means a man. His firstborn. And Heth. And the Jebusite, and the Amorite, and the Girgashite, and the Hivite, and the Archite, and the Senite, and the Arvadite, and the Zimmerite, and the Humadite. And afterwards the family of the Canaanite were spread abroad. The territory of the Canaanite extended from Sidon as you go toward Gerar, as far as Gaza, as you go toward Sodom and Gomorrah, and Admah and Zebulun, as far as Lasha. Sodom and Gomorrah is very important because that's going to be where Ruth and her mother-in-law come from. These are the sons of Ham according to the families, according to their languages, by their lands, by their nations. Also, Shem gave birth to a lot of kids. Shem, yada, yada, yada. 2 sons were born to Eber. The name of the one was Peleg. For in his day the earth was divided. Peleg means to divide. He will provide, to divide. That's very important because that's in Jesus's genealogy, and that's what that means, and that's what Jesus did. He said, I came to divide. And his brother's name was Joktan. Joktan became the father of Amahad and Shephlath. We're not going to go over it. Now, their settlement extended from Mesha as you go towards Sephar, the hill country of the east. These are the sons of Shem, according to their families. These are the families of the sons of Noah, according to their genealogy by their nations. And out of these, the nations were separated on the earth after the flood. So, okay, so now we're going to come to the Tower of Babel, and you're going to read that tower, they built a tower to reach up to heaven. Why were they doing that? Why do you think they were building that tower? Why do you think building that tower would be like shaking their fists at God? I'm going to tell you, and you probably didn't know this either. If you know the answer to one of these, please tell me. Please tell me, because it's very important. Now, the whole earth used the same language and the same words. This is very important too. The same words. They had an understanding. They were okay with it just being male and female. The same words mean that they thought the same. Everything was the same. They were okay with male and female. They were okay with things being as they were. It came about as they journeyed east that they found a plain in the land of Shinar and settled there. So chapter 10 gave us all the genealogy and the separation. All that was a quick overview, and here is what happened far chapter 10 to happen. Right? You get it? You follow me? Everybody following me? They said to one another, come, let us make bricks and burn them thoroughly. And they used brick for stone, and they used tar for mortar. They said, come, let us build for ourselves a city. A city. And a tower. And a tower whose top will reach into heaven. And let us make for ourselves a name. What does that mean? Let me go shut this door. Dog, I will kill you. You will be on the Vietnamese menu. Come on, out. Go inside. Come on, both of you. Molly, in. Teddy, in. No. Come on, Teddy. Molly. Get in the house. Woo! Those dogs make me so mad sometimes. Oh, man. You hear me yell? You hear me yell at my dog? Get in the house! Hey, Tammy Crimes! Hello, sister. So, I love my dogs. You wouldn't believe it. So listen to this, okay. Let us build for ourselves a city and a tower whose top will reach into heaven. And let us make for ourselves a name. Otherwise, we will be scattered abroad. We want to make this a great place to come. We want to make this a great tourist attraction. That's what he's saying. We're going to make this... We're going to trade all our goods out of here. When people when people have furs or whatever, they're going to come here to trade them. That's what he's talking about. He's like, our marketing plan, we're going to have a great marketing plan. Everybody's going to know we're here, yada, yada, yada. Get it? You follow me? You follow me? Let's see. Hey, so if you're just listening and you haven't been here before, subscribe. You might like it. Click the bell also so that you can get alerted when I post a new video or when I go live. Please consider subscribing to my backup channel where the short films that I'm making for my novel are, the produced ones, and I think you might like it. Go there. So why did they make a tower to heaven? They're going to escape God's wrath again. If God floods the earth, they're going to try to have a tower that will be above the water. They want a place to get out of the water, if there's water that ever comes again like it did before. It's in their memory. It's in their memory. And all right, now the Lord came down to see the city and the tower which the sons of men had built. The Lord said, "Behold, they are one people, and they all have the same language. And this is what they began to do. And now, because of that, nothing which they propose to do will be impossible for them." That just means that they're going to get involved in all kind of trouble. They're going to rub elbows, and they're going to mess with each other. This is sin it's talking about, not technology. Like, that's that whole idea of making a name for yourself. Prostitutes make a name for themselves. Cities lure people in to spend their money like a prostitute does. That's what marketing is. Come. Who's he saying come to? All of the Godhead. What are you saying, Sean? I'm saying that the Godhead is three. And he said, "Come, let us go down and let's go down and there confuse their language so that they will not understand one another's speech." High Hope says, Vegas, yes. So the Lord scattered them abroad from there over the face of the whole earth, and they stopped building the city. Therefore its name was called Babel, because there the Lord confused the language of the whole earth, and from there the Lord scattered them abroad over the face of the whole earth. Babel is not Babylon. These are the records of the generations of Shem. Shem was 100 years old, and he became the father of Arpachshad. 2 years after the flood. 2 years after the flood. And Shem lived 500 years after. He became the father of Arpachshad, and he had other sons and daughters. Arpachshad lived 35 years. Notice that the time that they're when they have children is more like in their 30s, and they're not living as long. Arpachshad lived 403 years after he became the father of Shelah, and he had other sons and daughters. Shelah lived 30 years and became the father of Abraham. Shelah lived 403 years after he became the father. Yada, 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 of so-and-so. Peleg, yada, yada, yada. Yada, yada, yada. And Terah. Okay, here we go. Let's go right here. Serug lived 30 years and became the father of Nahor. And Serug lived 200 years after he became the father of Nahor and had other sons and daughters. Nahor lived 29 years and became the father of Terah. And Nahor lived 119 years after he became the father of Terah. And see, now it's all the way down to 119. Terah lived 70 years and became the father of Abram. Remember, Abram was 80 years old when he had his first child. It is almost as if all these are 30s and 40s when they have their first child. But Terah lived 70 years, and he became the father of Abram, Nahor, and Haran. Now these are the records of the generations of Terah. Terah became the father of Abraham, Nahor, and Haran became the father of Lot, his cousin, Lot, Sodom and Gomorrah. Haran died in the presence of his father Terah in the land of his birth, in Ur of the Chaldeans. These are pagans. Ur is a stargazing place. They look, the Chaldeans and Ur, they studied the stars. Abram probably did. Abram and Nahor took wives for themselves. The name of Abram's wife was Sarai, and the name of Nahor's wife was Milcah, the daughter of Haran, the father of Milcah and Iscah. Sarai was barren, and she had no child. Terah took Abram his son, and Lot the son of Haran his grandson, and Sarai his daughter-in-law, his son Abram's wife, and they went out together from Ur of the Chaldees in order to enter the land of Canaan, and they went as far as Haran and settled there. Terah, not just Abraham. He took all of his kids and he left Ur. He set out. The days of Terah were 205 years, and Terah died in Haran, not Ur. Everyone thinks that Abraham left Ur. He did not. He left Haran. Now the Lord said to Abram, "Go forth from your country and from your relatives and from your father's house to the land which I will show you. And I will make you a great nation, and I will bless you and make you your name great." Oh, what did they say about, what did they want to do with the Tower of Babel? It says that they will make a name for themselves. Let's make for ourselves a name. They want their name to be great. This is to contrast that. I will make you a great nation, and I will bless you and make your name great. And so you shall be a blessing. And I want to read this. It says, because it will take God's grace to love such unlovable scoundrels. I have that on the note. It says, verse 3, and I will bless those who bless you. Jacob is going to be a scoundrel. Israel, pedophiles, incest, all that is going to happen in Israel. And so if you have it within yourself, see, just like Ham, it was his person that was going to make children, and those children are going to be cursed because of who he was. You know, I lost my stuff in front of my son to a police officer. I've told you the story. And I had to apologize to him. He was so upset with me. But now I have the ability to change because of Christ and the law. Before Christ, before the law, nobody would have said anything. There was nothing but that. Thank you, Tammy Crimes. Thank you. There was nothing about that. There was no law. There was nothing to prick the conscience to make them say, you know what? That's probably not a good idea. And I will bless those who bless you, and the one who curses you, I will curse. If you have a heart of forgiveness, you can bless Israel. If you let's just take the modern outlook of the Jews, for instance, the hatred toward those people. Now, if you understand who they are in the Bible and what they do, you may say, oh, that's why it always happens to them like that. And you'd be right. You would be right. But listen to me. If you cannot forgive the worst person on earth, you won't be forgiven. That's what Jesus is trying to tell you. And when he says the donkey and all the blessing of this, if anyone who blesses you, I will bless. And not just that your heart does that, but these are God's children. If you take care of someone's children and like a family member, if you dislike a family member, do you think the husband, if you dislike children and a wife, if you like a man's wife, what do you think he's going to think about you? If you aren't nice to a man's family, he's not going to be nice to you. But if you're nice to that family, you'll probably be taken in and taken care of by them if needed. No matter how much of a bitch he or she might be, or jerk. Right, I said that. So what about you? Do you shame your family? I do. I've done it. And I've been embarrassed. Like I said, I have a problem with police officers. I'm learning and I'm getting better. High Hope says that her father hated the Jews. Most people do, because they don't understand. They don't understand that they are God's people. I mean, think about it. Remember when I read from Revelation where anyone's name who is not found in the book of life, remember we talked about that the book of life actually is the Bible, and that you are the one who finds yourself. God isn't looking for your name in the book of life. The book of life, the Biblos is the word, the Bible, the book of the life of God and how he gives it to people. And when you find yourself in it, when you read it and you are convicted of your sin and you change. So how about you? When you don't submit to authority and you show your ass, are you ashamed, embarrassed, feel bad? Because those in whom you showed your ass to, you cannot witness to. You can't. You can't share the gospel with them. They're going to laugh at you. Jerry Ludwig said, my father made fun of Jews. Most people did. But that is, this is, Jesus said, if they hated me, what do you think they're going to do to you? But that's part of being Jewish, too. That's part of being God's chosen people. That's part of being the witness for God. They were to be the witness of God in the Old Testament, and still are in another way, but not the same way as the bride of Christ. So Abram, hold on, I know what I got to go get. 1 second, I'm going to go get something that I'll make sure that dog doesn't bark at all. Hold on, I'll be right back. So I use a shock collar that I don't shock with. I use the bell, the binging, the ding, and the buzzer. If it's a life-threatening situation or if they're digging in my yard. I've seen my smallest dog. That dog was digging in my garden, and I bap with that collar, the controller, and I watched that dog leap up and get out of that hole that she was digging really fast. All 4 feet came off the ground. Tammy Crime says, I have never known anyone that hated Jews. I heard that people did, but never knew no one personally who did. Well, there are a lot of them. So, and the one who curses you, I will curse. And in you, all the families of the earth will be blessed. How? Because the Lord Jesus Christ is going to come through him. And his story is written down for us. So Abram went forth as the Lord had spoken to him, and Lot went with him. Now Abram was 75 years old when he departed from Haran. His dad was 70 when he had him. And he's 75 when he's leaving his dad from Haran, not Ur and not the Chaldees. Now, Abraham was probably a pagan, probably worshiped the stars and watched the stars because God has not revealed himself to him yet. High Hope says, I get a Christian card from 2 Jewish brothers every year. Awesome. Awesome. Abram took Sarai, his wife, and Lot, his nephew, and all their possessions which they had accumulated, and the persons which they had acquired, in Haran. They bought slaves. They had slaves. And they set out for the land of Canaan. Thus they came to the land of Canaan. Abram passed through the land as far as the site of Shechem. What was that? The shoulder. That was where Noah was, right? As far as the site of Shechem, to the oak of Moreh. Now the Canaanite was then in the land. Ham's, folks. The Lord appeared to Abram and said, to your descendants I will give this land. Woo-hoo! It just hit the jackpot. So he built an altar there to the Lord who had appeared to him. Then he proceeded from there. So you got to understand. This is this is Abraham's first encounter. Well, second encounter after he was told to leave. But he appeared this time. He didn't just tell him, he appeared. And because he appeared, he makes this altar. If you feel like you want to bless me, if you're being blessed by this show, please do so. The Lord appeared to Abram and said, to your descendants, I will give this land. So he built an altar. Then he proceeded from there to the mountain on the east of Bethel. And pitched his tent with Bethel on the west and Ai on the east. And there he built an altar to the Lord and called upon the name of the Lord. How do you know his name? How did he know his name? How did he know his name? Abram journeyed on, continuing toward the Negev. Negev means dry desert. That's a terrible place. Now there was a famine in the land in Negev. So Abram went down to Egypt to sojourn there, for the famine was severe in the land. Now the Lord just told Abram that he was going to bless him, that his descendants were going to be, like the whole earth's going to be blessed on account of you. So he's hungry, and instead of waiting on the Lord to take care of him, believing in the promise, it hasn't happened yet. He doesn't believe it yet. Because he goes, to Egypt. He takes a detour, and he's going over there to Egypt. It came about when he came near to Egypt that he said to Sarai, his wife, "See now, I know that you are a beautiful woman, and when the Egyptians see you, they will say, 'This is his wife,' and they will kill me." Doesn't believe God yet. He still thinks that he can die. How would his descendants be like they are? How would the whole earth be blessed by him if he's dead? He doesn't believe God yet. And they will kill me, but they will let you live. He tells her to lie. "Please say that you are my sister, so that it may go well with me because of you, and that I may live on the account of you." Not really lie, because he is a sister, adopted sense in a family, extended family. But it's just a little white lie. It's not like a total lie. You're not really it's not total, just a little. "Please say that you're my sister, that I may live on account of you." On account of you? What about God? See, he doesn't believe God. "So that I may live on account of you, wife." Not God who sent him out. Not God who told him that he was going to have this and that. He doesn't believe God. It came about when Abram came into Egypt, the Egyptians saw that the woman was very beautiful. Why, it's all the beautiful women that are barren. Notice that? Rachel, Rebecca. Pharaoh's officials saw her and praised her to Pharaoh, and the woman was taken into Pharaoh's house. Therefore he treated Abram well for her sake and gave him sheep. Now, you got to know, so Abram lies, but God is still going to do everything that he wants for him. Notice this. Please notice this. That Abram's doubt did not affect God's blessing of him. Look. So the Egyptians are taking care of him, blessing him, giving him stuff. So look. Therefore, he treated Abraham well for his sake and gave him sheep and oxen. Abraham doesn't have much. Gave him sheep and oxen and donkeys and male and female servants and female donkeys and camels. He just blessed him. Anybody who takes care of you, I'm going to take care of. But the Lord struck Pharaoh and his house with great plagues because of Sarai, Abraham's wife. Then Pharaoh called Abraham and said, "What is this you have done to me?" Now he's going to shame Abraham for his doubtfulness and lack of faith. Abraham is going to be shamed, and this isn't going to be the last time. It's going to happen to Jacob. It's going to happen to all these folks. They get shamed by by people who aren't believers. Why did you not tell me she was your wife? Why did you say she is my sister, so that I took her for my wife? Remember, she's old, she's barren. Now then, here is your wife. Take her and go. Pharaoh commanded his men concerning him. They escorted him away with his wife and all that belonged to him that Pharaoh gave him. All right, so this letter here, this red letter in yellow, that's me saying, hey, look at this. 13. So Abram went up from Egypt to the Negev, he and his wife and all that belonged to him, and Lot with him. Now Abram was very rich in livestock, in silver and in gold. He went on his journey. Now Abram is very rich in livestock, in silver and gold. This is all the stuff he got from Egypt. Yes, Tammy Crump says his will be done, not because of men. That's right. He went to his journeys from the Negev as far as Bethel, to the place where his tent had been at the beginning, between Bethel and Ai. So it goes back to the place of the altar which he had made there formerly. And there Abram called on the name of the Lord again. Now Lot, who went with Abram, also had flocks and herds and tents, and the land could not sustain them while dwelling there, for their possessions were so great that they were not able to remain together. We're talking, this is years. This isn't discovered within a few months. So Abram said to Lot, please, let there be no strife between you. Let's don't fight about this. Let's get along and let's just decide that we're going to go our own way. Look at that plain over there. You go over there. Please, let there be no strife between you and me, nor between my herdsmen and your herdsmen, for we are brothers. Not really. The cousins, but he calls them brothers. That's how Sarai is his sister. Is not the whole land before you? Please separate from me. If to the left, then I will go to the right. If to the right, then I will go to the left. So Lot has a little issue, though. When he goes down, he hears the noise of the city. He hears all the playing around. He hears that he can buy alcohol there, and he ain't going to stick in the country much at all. He's a city guy. He likes that. Lot lifted up his eyes and saw the valley of the Jordan River, that it was well watered everywhere. This was before the Lord destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah, same area as in the land of Canaan, like the garden of the Lord, like the land of Egypt, like the garden of the Lord, Eve, like the land of Egypt as you go to Zoar. So Lot chose for himself. Listen, Lot lifted up his eyes and saw all the valley of the Jordan, that it was well watered everywhere. Like the garden, take that out. This was before the Lord destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. Listen, Lot lifted up his eyes and saw all the valley of the Jordan, that it was well watered everywhere. Like the garden of the Lord it was watered. Like the land of Egypt as you go to Zoar. So Lot chose for himself all the valley of the Jordan. And Lot journeyed eastward. Thus they separated from each other. Abram settled in the land of Canaan, while Lot settled in the cities of the valley, and moved his tent as far as Sodom. Now the men of Sodom were wicked exceedingly, and sinners against the Lord. The Lord said to Abram, after Lot had separated from him, now lift up your eyes and look from the place where you are, northward and southward and eastward and westward. He's in the land of Canaan. For all the land which you see, I will give it to you and to your descendants forever. I will make your descendants as the dust of the earth, so that if anyone can number the dust of the earth, then your descendants can also be numbered. Your descendants. So nothing's going to happen to you, Abraham. Nothing at all. You're fine. Have courage. Do not fear. Arise, the Lord says. Walk about the land through its length and breadth, for I will give it to you. Then Abram moved his tent and came and dwelt by the oaks of Mamre, which are in Hebron. And there he built an altar to the Lord. Have faith, high hopes, yes. Now let's talk about the oaks of Mamre. Mamre, fat, or corpuscles, or you see, oaks of Mamre. Are you ready for this, Connie Pitts? Hey, Connie Pitts. I'm in St. Charles Parish. Hey, I've been in Albany many times. So then Abraham moved his tent and came and dwelt by the oaks of Mamre. Very important, the oaks of Mamre. We see that Shechem, that was when Shem and Japheth put the coat over their shoulders, they called that place Shechem. And that's going to be the capital of Israel before they switch. They split, and you have Jerusalem and Shechem. Connie says, I know you were in there. Good. Jerry Ludwig would say, hey, Connie. You know, I was just telling my wife, I'm not kidding. This is no joke, Connie. No joke. Just 2 days ago, I was driving with my wife or walking or something. And I said, one of my favorite name for a woman is the name Connie. And my wife said, I've only known 2 Connies. And now I know 3. But Connie. The oaks of Mamre. What does that sound like? So Adam, I told you how the Lord brought Eve to Adam. They are both naked. When he says bone of your bone, flesh of my flesh, that's his morning wood. He sees this like this. He gets an erection. We're adults here. It's legalism that stops the church from sharing this. He's erect. He's seeing this beautiful thing that the Lord brings to him called a woman. He's never seen anything like it. He's only saw other animals with the right equipment. They were brought to him and he says, wait a minute. Remember, suitable means to fit inside like a glove, Sorry if that bothers you, but we have to be adults because you'll never understand this. And I'm telling you that it's the church's legalism that keeps people from understanding this. And you must be mature enough to deal with it because it was nothing back then. Nothing. Hey, so just want to put this out there. If I bless you tonight, maybe you can bless me back. Here's my PayPal link. We could greatly use it. So Mamre, what does that sound like? Come on, someone tell me, what does Mamre sound like? Adam sees this naked woman, and he is elated with her. And they named that place. Moses is showing us that is the style of what they do. He is showing that this is a land deed, right? And he's showing that they were here first. They're first. Now, the oaks of Mamre. Come on, people. Jerry Ludwig, what's Mamre? What does that make you think of? Mamre. Come on. Mamre. What does that make you think of? There's 13 people in here, right? At least one of you gotta figure it out. And I realize I'm on delay. What's Mamre? I won't answer for a while. We'll see if anyone gets it because we are on a delay. The oaks of Mamre. We pitched his tent. Then Abram moved his tent and came and dwelt by the oaks of Mamre. Connie Pitts says mothers. Correct. Mamre, as far as, no, Tammy, mammary glands, mothers, mammary, boobs. Adam saw it and he was elated. And they named that tree. Folks, this is the tree. Jerry Ludwig says, boobs. Yes. That they come here Abraham moved his tent and came and dwelt by the oaks of Mamre, which are in Hebron, and there he built an altar to the Lord. Folks, if you follow Moses's what he does with names, Tamara Crum said I'm bad with the words. It's okay. A lot of people don't know this. And never would they have connected the two. Remember, Shoulder, Shechem, that was a place. There was another place. We called that place this. We called this place this. We called that place this. From that day, that person was named this. He did this. See, that's the rhythm. And right here, the oaks of Mamre. Which are in Hebron. And there he built an altar to the Lord. Everybody, wait. Tammy Crimes, don't hide anybody's message. Don't hide. No. Unhide that. Connie, you're no. I don't know how to unhide it. Connie, if you can, I mean, Tammy Crimes, don't, let's see. It's okay. I understand you're trying to be a good thing, but, Connie Pitts, sorry about that. If I could show it, I would. It was just an accident. I'll fix that right now. There you go. She didn't mean to. No, it's all right, Tammy. I don't use Cash App. I don't. It's okay though. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I gotta make this smaller. So, if you've listened, this is show 11 for Genesis. And if you've been listening, I've been showing you how sex is a major part of Genesis. And that when we hear Moses say, for this reason a man shall leave his mother and father. What is this? It's his elation, his sexual attraction, his need. And it never says that a woman will leave her mother and father, only a man. And we see that when Paul echoes that verse in Ephesians 5, and he says, when he says, husbands, love your wives as Christ loved the church, he gave himself up for her. Wives, submit to your husbands. Before they even say that, it says submit to one another. And it says, for this reason a man shall leave his mother and father, and the two shall become one flesh. How? In intercourse and the making of a baby. And they join. Now, Paul in Ephesians 5 says, for this reason. For what reason? For that same elation that Adam had for Eve. This reason a man shall leave his mother, and the two shall become one flesh. He says, that is a great mystery about men and women, basically. But I'm speaking of Christ and the church. So that elation, that sexual elation, that there is a similar thing that Christ feels for his church, that he left his father to come here for his bride, and the two will become one flesh. We are one flesh with Jesus Christ. We don't have to eat the wafer that the Catholics offer. We don't have to eat the bread at communion to be one flesh. We don't have to do that. We are one flesh with Christ the moment we are saved. And it came about in the days of Amraphel, king of Shinar, and Erech, king of Eleazar, Shahadlamar, king of Elam, and Tidal, king of Goyim, that they make war with Bera, king of Sodom, and with Bersha, king of Gomorrah. 2 places, not one. Sodom and Gomorrah is not one place, it's 2 places, 2 kings. Bet you didn't know that either. We don't talk about it. I don't know why. So you know the story. I'm not sure I want to go into 14 too much right now, actually. I think I'm going to wait till tomorrow to go in it. Thank you, Jerry. Oh, thank you, High Hopes. Oh, Tammy Crump says, I can't do PayPal. I'm not sure if I think I might have a Cash App. I'm not sure. But I'll let you know some other time. But don't worry about it, baby. You're all right, sister. So Lot gets abducted and kidnapped, and his daughters and all. And Abraham takes all of his people and his slaves. They go out and they rescue him, and they bring him back. When Abram heard that his relative had been taken captive, he led out his trained men, born in his house, 318, and went in pursuit as far as Dan. He divided his forces against them by night, he and his servants, and defeated them and pursued them as far as Hobah, which is north of Damascus. He brought back all the goods and also brought back his relative Lot with his possessions, and also the women and the people. Then after his return from the defeat of Chelbanar and the kings who were with him, the king of Sodom went out to meet him at the valley of Shava, that is the king's valley. And Melchizedek, king of Salem, the first king who was a priest and a king. And Melchizedek, king of Salem, brought out bread and wine. Now he was priest. He was a priest of God Most High. Okay, so there's no 10 Commandments. There's no Jewish nation. There's no Israelitish stock yet. There is this man. If you remember, under the Levitical law, a priest could not be a king and a king could not be a priest. So the reason why Jesus came in the order of Melchizedek, because Melchizedek was a king and a priest. That is the order of Melchizedek. And Melchizedek, king of Salem, brought out bread and wine. Now he was a priest of God Most High. He blessed him, Abram, and said, Blessed be Abram of God Most High, possessor of heaven and earth. And blessed be God Most High, who has delivered your enemies into your hands. And then Abram, he gave him 1/10 of all. That's setting the standard, right? He gave. He wasn't commanded to. He gave. The king of Sodom said to Abram, Give the people to me and take the goods for yourself. That's when he was taking them. Abram said to the king of Sodom, I have sworn to the Lord God Most High, possessor of heaven and earth, that I will not take a thread or a sandal thong or anything that is yours, for fear you will say, I have made Abram rich. I will take nothing except what the young men have eaten, and the share of the men who went with me, Aner, Eshcol, and Mamre. Let them take their share. Like these, Abraham's not going to take anything, but he turns to his trained men and says, Hey, take anything you want. Let's get out of here. And they do. And they do. All right, we're going to stop at chapter 15. Oh, Tammy Crime said, I found your Cash App. Thank you. Thank you. You found it. Thank you. I don't know how to do it. I think I got it on my phone. I've had it once. Thank you, Tammy Crimes. Thank you. And just really quick before I go, if you want to bless me on PayPal, if you've been blessed tonight and want to bless me back, I would greatly appreciate it. And hey, love you guys. I love seeing you, and I apologize I wasn't able to come on last night. Saturday, more than likely, I'll be on again. You know how I am. I may do it on my cell phone out on my porch or something, and not particularly like this. But may God richly bless all of you. Read his word, stay in his word. The two witnesses, the Old and the New Testament, and Adam and Eve, who became the new Adam and the new Eve as a direct results of the two witnesses, the Word of God. And may you be blessed. Stay in his word. It will do its work. It will not return void. If you've got something you're struggling with, stay in his word. If you've got an addiction that you're trying to stop and you can't, get in his word. Don't think ill of the chastisement of the Lord, for it is to bring you closer to him. Hey,